everyone, I'm Ethan with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. If you ask different people how to define strength, you might get a lot of different answers. Not surprising, since there are many ways to be strong, and few people boast of having them all. Today's saint, Ignatius of Laconi, was frail, sickly, and quiet, but nonetheless admired for his strength. Ignatius was born in 1701. His birth name, Francesco, or Francis, was given to him because his mother had prayed for the intercession of St. Francis during her troubled pregnancy. As a boy, he worked in the fields alongside his parents, but in his teens, he suffered a severe illness. Afraid he would die of this sickness, he swore he would dedicate his life to God if he survived. He miraculously recovered and intended to fulfill his promise, but his father, who wanted his help in the fields, convinced him to hold off on becoming a monk. A couple years later, Ignatius had another close scrape with death. While riding, his horse panicked, and he feared he would be thrown off. He prayed fervently to St. Francis, renewing the vow he had made before. At that moment, the horse suddenly calmed and returned to a regular pace. Now, completely convinced that his life had been spared so that he could devote it to God, Ignatius stopped putting off the fulfillment of his vow. He returned home and declared his intentions to his parents, who gave him their blessing. Ignatius was immediately refused by the superiors because of his poor health. Undeterred, he sought the help of a friend who had some influence at the convent. With their help, entered into the novitiate at Cagliari. Ignatius worked for 15 years as a weaver for the convent, and following that, he became an alms quester, or someone who travels around requesting donations. While not everyone appreciated his presence at their door, he was well liked by many people of the city who admired his humble, gentle manner. Even those with few possessions were eager to donate when he visited. Ignatius was obedient, yet strong-willed in his own way. There was, in the city, a rich moneylender whom he refused to accept alms from. When the man complained to Ignatius' superiors that he was being ignored, Ignatius complied with the request to take his donations. However, when the bag which contained the man's donations was emptied, blood flowed out. Ignatius said calmly to those present, "This is the blood of the poor," making it obvious that the moneylender's generosity came at a price. Despite poor health, Ignatius continued to serve devotedly as an alms quester for over 40 years. Even when he went blind in his late 70s, he still walked around the city, and more than ever were people inspired by him. He died 2 years after losing his sight, at nearly 80 years old. Many miracles were attributed to him, both before and after his death, and he was canonized in 1951. Ignatius was a great paradox, obedient and gentle, but also resolute, weak and sickly, but somehow able to work hard and live a long life. Looking at that life, it's obvious that God will give even the weakest among us the strength we need if we ask for it. Saint Ignatius of Laconi, pray for us.